Hey guys, welcome on in to another episode, Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, Trends and Betting Picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down the Tuesday slate. But of course, we'll take a look back at yesterday on what happened on the Monday slate. And well, a lot happened yesterday on the Monday slate. And before we get into the whole recap, I am going to just start off with the thank you segment of the day, which may be a little bit long because there's quite a few people to thank after yesterday's slate. So we will jump into that right away. If you guys bear with me for a second, and I will be back in a minute or so.
Swing. Drives that ball deep to right field, going back. That ball's gone. We do have a visitor to Utah Street as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. goes the other way. And the Blue Jays strike back again. It's Guerrero's 20th homer this season.
Coming up in the bottom of the eighth for the O's. And Guerrero with another seed to center. Cows are racing back. It's gone. Are you kidding me with this guy?
I mean, it's only the first day, and I'm already tired of looking at Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And this was almost a line drive. I mean, this ball felt like it never got 20 feet off the ground. 112 off the bat, hit one early.
Left it small. Cow, bad hand and all. Deep drive, right field. That is gone. Home run number 23 for Big Cow. Marte lines it to the right field corner, and it's gone. He did it again. Ketel Marte. And hold the phone. It's a one-run ball game.
Instead of showing all the videos in their full form, I'll just stick with that. So basically, as you guys can probably tell, for people that did not, obviously there was no show yesterday, but for people that did not check the spreadsheet, you missed out on quite a day. Vladdy over 1.5 bases and home run in game one, both winners, pretty much starting the day off up 4 units right off the bat. Vladdy over 1.5 bases and home run in game two. Two more winners, plus 120, plus 550. Ryan Mountcastle over 1.5 bases was a loser, plus 105. Loss of a half unit there. Ryan Mountcastle home run in game two was also a loser. Seattle Mariners money line, the first of my two premium plays, did not go well. Obviously, Boston winning 14-7, very high scoring game there. Seattle just fell behind early and could never recover after that. Jorge Polanco over 1.5 bases, plus 130, a loser. Cal Rayleigh, that we just watched, over 1.5 bases, plus 125, home run, plus 33. 333, two winners there. Jorge Polanco home run did not cash. Obviously, his total bases didn't either. He did get pulled when the Mariners were down so much. So he didn't really get an opportunity to play the full game. Washington and Arizona over 9, my second premium play of the day. Both teams tried to go over the total themselves. So pretty much an easy win there. Ketel Marte over 1.5 bases, minus 115, which was a winner when I went to bed. And then, of course, waking up to find out that Marte also hit a home run in the bottom of the ninth. Ends up being up 8.95 units on the day yesterday. And since the All-Star break, overall, up just under 22 units, 21.64 units, I believe, since the All-Star break. So things have been going really, really well lately. And yesterday was a dream day. I went 5 and, or sorry, 8-3 or 8-5, but 8-5. But it was still a very, very nice day. So I can't complain with winning all that plus money. We will jump into the chat and then we'll get started on today's slate because, like yesterday, it's a very windy, hot day in a lot of ballparks. And when you're betting player props, you want windy, especially when it's blowing out, and you want hot days, which is exactly what we have today again. Stacks play of the day: Diamondbacks team total over 5.5, plus 108. Okay, best of luck, Justin. Hit the like button. I'll put plays in the chat after the show. Appreciate you, Terry. Thanks for watching, Justin. I appreciate you as well. Good luck today, Terry. Thank you for the show. Hit the like button. I'm going to get back to work here, listening long. Awesome. Have a great day. So far on Seager over 1.5 bases, Fitzgerald over 1.5 bases, Marte. You got a good price on the minus 123 from Marte over 1.5 bases. Now I think minus 127 is the best you can get, and it's minus 140, minus 150 at a lot of spots. So unfortunately, Marte over 1.5 bases has been bet quite a bit so far, for good reason, of course. Let's make some money. That's the plan one. I'm pretty crazy if I'm not sprinkling Vladdy today. Just feels counterproductive when I'm already on O's front line. Hey, as you saw in game one yesterday, you can win both. You can win both. I like Jose Ramirez early game. He's hot to Lance Thomas first game in Cleveland. All right. Best of luck. I'm not betting that early game, so I'll start off with a pass. But I will briefly talk about it here. Just 1 second, guys, as I get rid of all these home run videos and bring up the spreadsheet here. So first game of the day, Cleveland Guardians, Detroit Tigers. And of course, as I said, it's a pass. Javier Baez, who was doing very, very well, I believe is on the bereavement list. I believe it's bereavement. So unfortunately, somebody passed away or is going to pass away in his family. So he won't be playing today, unfortunately. He's been playing very well. My condolences to his family. Jose Ramirez, a home run in yesterday's game. Before that, he'd been kind of quiet. Overall, 3 for 6 with 2 doubles against Holton, who the Mariners will be facing here in this game. And ultimately, not one of my favorite games of the day. Obviously, I'm passing on it. And this is one of the ballparks that wind is blowing out. 8.1 miles per hour. So not as heavy wind as some other games we'll talk about. But the wind is blowing out here in this game. So it could be a good game for props. Ultimately, just nothing here for me in the first game of the day. And I do have quite a few plays, so don't worry. Nice to wake up to a Nats win and Marty home run. The Nats didn't win, though. They lost. Nationals lost. Hey, Terry. Hey, Storage Club. How's it going? But we will continue on along to our second game, which is the Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles here in this one. Chris Bassett on the mound for the Blue Jays. Corbin Burns on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles here. Now, there is a threat of some rain here in this game, so maybe it's delayed a little bit. We'll have to see. Of course, I didn't let the rain take me off yesterday's game. They had to delay the game because of maybe lightning or inclement weather in game 2 between the Jays and the Orioles. And then, of course, Vladdy ended up hitting a home run anyway. So you do take a chance with the possibility of rain in the forecast that maybe they do start the game and then it could get postponed. So there is that chance. But 12.8 miles per hour out, the wind is blowing. And obviously, we've got some hot hitters here in this game. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., if you watched the beginning of the show, you saw both of his home runs yesterday. He's got a home run in 8 of his last 12 games, multiple bases in 10 of his last 12 games. Vladdy is just feeling it right now, and he's on a heater, kind of like myself. Home run, quarter unit, half unit on over 1.5 bases. 3 for 9 against Corbin Burns, all singles. So he's yet to hit a home run off Burns. Maybe he gets it here off Burns. Maybe he gets it off the Orioles bullpen. But regardless, I'm not jumping off Vladdy props. Ryan Mountcastle, 1 for 2 with a double against Chris Bassett. Of course, Mountcastle is a Jays killer. He loves to face the Blue Jays. Multiple bases in 3 of his last 5 games. Didn't get there in game 2 yesterday. He did hit a home run in game 1 yesterday, but didn't get anything in game 2, or just got the 1 hit. I'll take him here over 1.5 bases in this one. Westberg has been doing very good recently. You could look at him. Colton Cowser 0 for 3 against Bassett, but Colton Cowser, who's been leading off lately, he's been hitting the ball very well also. So there are other guys you could look at here in this one, but for me, it's Vladdy and it's Ryan Mountcastle here in this game. Moving on along to our next one, we've got the New York Yankees and the Philadelphia Phillies. Garrett Cole on the mound for the Yankees. Aaron Nola on the mound for the Philadelphia Phillies in this game. 12.8 miles per hour wind blowing out. You're going to hear that a lot today. There's a lot of ballparks where the wind is blowing out. 12.8 miles per hour. In tonight's game here. Aaron Judge has home runs in 3 of his last 4 games. After a bit of a cold stretch there for Judge, he's hot again, hitting a home run in 3 of his last 4 games. I have a half unit on it just because it's not priced the best. Both of the home runs I have in this game are not really priced that well because obviously it is Judge. The wind is blowing out. Judge home run I got for plus 210. So quite a bit lower than the home runs we usually bet, but it's Aaron Judge who's hitting the ball well. Aaron Nola does give up home runs, so it's very possible to get one from him. Juan Soto, 10 for 36 against Nola, 3 doubles, 3 home runs. I do lean with Juan Soto as well. Didn't pull the trigger on him, just decided to go with Judge instead. Gleyber Torres, Anthony Volpe, both hitting the ball very well right now also. For the Phillies, I went with Kyle Schwarber for a home run for a half unit. He's done it in 2 of his last 3 games. He's 6 for 25 against Garrett Cole with 2 home runs. So I like Schwarber here to get a home run. Nick Castellanos, he's 7 for 18 with a double and a triple against Garrett Cole. Not taking his props, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him hit a home run as well. Ultimately, didn't decide to go heavy in this game. Half unit on Schwarber home run, half unit on Aaron Judge home run here in this one. Miami Marlins are facing the Tampa Bay Rays here in this one. It'll be Edward Cabrera on the mound for the Miami Marlins. And Jeffrey Springs on the mound for Tampa Bay. In this one, I don't expect Josh Bell to play. He got put on waivers, so I don't exactly know what's going to happen with him. But a home run in 5 of his last 7 games, multiple bases in 6 of his last 7. He's red hot. If I was a general manager of a contending team, looking to make a playoff run or to try to get into the playoffs, I would take a shot with Josh Bell right now with how he's playing. But most likely will not be in the lineup today, of course. We'll see what happens with him. Not taking either of these guys as well. Miami might not be a team you really want to look at because obviously it is the trade deadline today. So there are teams, both of these teams, Tampa Bay and Miami, could very well be making trades today. Tampa Bay has already done quite a few trades. So this game, a game I'm passing on. But I would have been on Josh Bell props had he not been put on waivers in the middle of last game or at the beginning of his last game. Minnesota Twins and the New York Mets here in this game. And this is the game, the highest, the most windiest game of the night, I guess I could say. 17.2 miles per hour wind blowing out to left field. And that's a very, very high amount of wind, 17.2 miles per hour here in this one. David Festa will be starting for the Twins. Sean Manaea will be on the mound for the New York Mets. And with the Twins right now, a lot of these guys that were on really hot streaks are starting to cool off a bit. Buxton, Trevor Larnach, so not taking either of their props. Matt Wallner is a lefty, so he'll be facing a lefty here. I'm not going to take him, but he has been doing very well recently. Royce Lewis, with the wind blowing out 17.2 miles per hour, I decided to take a shot here, a quarter unit on Royce Lewis home run, basically because of the wind. Also, Lewis very good against left-handed pitchers. Pete Alonso has home runs in back-to-back games for the New York Mets, and it's windy, so I'll take a quarter unit on Pete Alonso home run as well. Jeff McNeil, I believe his multiple bases, I believe I got it for plus 185 at FanDuel for Justin McNeil over 1.5 bases. Oh, sorry. He's done that in 7 of his last 8 games, as I just had on the screen before we had a bit of an error there. 7 of his last 8 games, he's got multiple bases, so plus 185 against a struggling Twins pitcher and a very windy ballpark. I will take that plus 185 for McNeil. And that's it for this game. So 3 props here in this one, but will not be surprised to see quite a few runs and home runs here in this game. Chicago Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds. Patrick Wisdom has been playing very well recently. Cincinnati's not officially announced who their pitcher will be here. It was supposed to be Frankie Montas, but he got traded yesterday, so he'll not be starting. Looks like it'll be Martinez. That's why I have him listed here. I'm not going to take Patrick Wisdom. Ellie De La Cruz, who's been doing great recently, is 0 for 8 against Justin Steele. So that's enough to keep me off. Spencer Steer does have very good numbers against Justin Steele, but Spencer Steer has not been doing very well recently overall. So that's why he's not on the spreadsheet. So this one, not one of my favorite games on the slate. Seattle Mariners and the Boston Bruins. Whoa! The Boston Red Sox. What am I saying? Am I thinking about hockey? A little bit. Hockey's been in my mind yesterday. Of course, with Brock Faber signing an 8-year extension with the Wild. So hockey's in the back of my brain. But here in this one, Luis Castillo on the mound for the Mariners. James Paxton on the mound for the Boston Red Sox here in this one. And let me bring it up here. 15 miles per hour blowing out to left field here in this one. So another hot and windy ballpark here in this one. Jorge Polanco, I'm going to stay off. 2 for 8 with the home run against Paxton. Victor Robles, 1 for 1 with a double. I'm not going to take him either. But Cal Raleigh, a home run in 3 games in a row. Has not faced James Paxton before, but that's fine. I'll still take Rayleigh home run. Half unit on that, it's plus 285. Again, not priced very well, but um, it is, of course, a windy day and a high total here in Fenway at 10, I believe. So that would be a reason there for that. So we'll take Cal Rayleigh home run. Not getting to any of the Red Sox players here. Ref Snyder, who didn't play yesterday, has been doing very good recently, as you can see. Tyler O'Neill also, Jaron Duran. So this could be a good game to look out for props. Just going to stick with Cal Rayleigh, who's been doing great for us, and that's it here in this game. DK has a plus 200 odds boost on any player for a home run. Judge would be plus 365. Wow. I wouldn't even know who to tell you to choose for that because I'm on quite a few home run props today. So I guess pick one. Maybe, yeah, pick one like Judge or Cal Rayleigh or Schwarber that aren't plus 500 or something like some other ones. Next up, we've got the Texas Rangers and the St. Louis Cardinals here in this one. Max Scherzer on the mound for the Texas Rangers. Lance Lynn on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals. Not touching Simeon props here. Not touching Corey Seager props. But Josh Young activated off the injured list yesterday. Didn't play in yesterday's game. I'm assuming that he will start here in this one. Of course, if you are looking at the stats there, home run in one game. That was the only game he played in this season, in the first game of the year. We were on him to hit a home run, I believe a home run and multiple bases there in that first game of the season. He cashed for us. Everything was looking great, and then he got injured and has been out the entire year. But he's back now, and he will be a player that we will be looking at. He has not faced Lance Lynn before, but Lance Lynn, definitely not a bad pitcher to face when you're looking to score some runs. 6.9 miles per hour blowing out to left field. So again, we have wind blowing out here. Not as strong as some other parks. But I'll take Josh Young props. A half unit on over 1.5 bases and a quarter unit on the home run. Wilson Contreras 3 for 13 against Max Scherzer. Paul Goldschmidt 9 hits and 42 at bats, but all singles against Max Scherzer. So not taking either of their props. We're just taking Josh Young because he's cashed for us before and hoping to see him get on a hot streak here today. I was just throwing it out there so you can utilize the boost or anyone in the chat. Hey, thank you. We appreciate it. I'll be betting someone for the plus 200 boost, but I don't know who yet because there's so many choices on today's slate. But I'll figure out somebody later on. Atlanta Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers here in this one. Nobody yet confirmed for the Milwaukee Brewers. It was supposed to be Joe Ross. We'll see if that's the case or not. Ozuna 3 for 12 with a double and a triple against Ross. So he'd probably be okay with it being Ross on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. But I'm looking at Milwaukee props here in this one. Let me bring it up here. Bryce Elder, overall 8 starts in the season. He's 1-4 with a 6.35 ERA. In his last 7 starts, 0-4 with a 7.64 ERA. So he won his first start of the season, has yet to win a start after that. And he's been getting hits. He's been getting hit quite a bit here in his recent starts. Gave up 2 home runs in his last start. And Um, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 9 hits, 7 runs, 7 hits, 7 runs in previous starts. So it has not been great for Bryce Elder here. Now he's facing this Brewers team, and there are 2 batters here who are on hot streaks for the Brewers. Rhys Hoskins, multiple bases in 7 of his last 12 games. He got a home run yesterday. I'll take him for a half unit over 1.5 bases. Jackson Chourio, multiple bases in 5 games in a row for the Brewers, a home run in back-to-back games. Chourio, a home run is plus 750, and over 1.5 bases is plus 150. Plus 750 is way too high for someone that's done it in back to back games and facing a struggling pitcher. Now, the wind is blowing in here a little bit, 5.8 miles per hour. So it is kind of blowing in a little bit, but not enough for me to jump off Jackson Chourio here. Definitely value at the plus 750, and definitely value with the over 1.5 bases for both guys here in this game against Bryce Elder, who has been really struggling this year. A lot of plays today, Terry. I know, and I've been trying to go a little bit lower volume, but it's really difficult. It is really difficult with the weather today for me to pass on some of these. Pittsburgh Pirates, speaking of passing, Pittsburgh Pirates and the Houston Astros here in this one. Bailey Falter on the mound for the Pirates, Hunter Brown on the mound for the Houston Astros. There is wind blowing straight out, 10.3 miles per hour. So it could possibly be a good game for props. No, I'm not on anything here. O'Neill Cruz has been doing great for the Pirates, so you could look at him there. Yainer Diaz also doing great. Bregman, Alvarez. There are guys to look at here if you wanted to in this game, but um, as Storage Club said already, a lot of plays for me today. So this is going to be one of the games that I pass on today. Kansas City Royals are facing the Chicago White Sox here in this one. And it's another game I'm passing on here. Bobby Witt Jr. has been great. Of course, it's difficult to bet his props. I'm pretty sure you'd have to go minus, especially against the White Sox. I would have to take over 2.5 bases, which I'm just not interested in doing here, especially on a big slate. Renfro, Paul DeJong, not taking either of them either. So another pass here in this game. Colorado Rockies and the LA Angels. Of course, if you saw my post on Twitter earlier, I did mention, I kind of highlighted this game, mentioning that there was a pitcher on today's slate who's given up at least 1 home run in 12 of his last 13 starts. And wind happens to be blowing out in that game, and that's this one here. 6.9 miles per hour blowing out to right field here in this one. And Griffin Canning has given up at least 1 home run in 12 of his last 13 starts. So with that, I had to find at least somebody to bet for a home run here in this one. Brenton Doyle is dealing with some kind of injury. He's day-to-day, so I'm not sure if he'll play in this one. With the fact that he's dealing with an injury is enough for me to pass here. Tovar hasn't got a home run in a few games for the Rockies. So I went with a half unit on over 1.5 bases, which he's done in 10 of 14 games for Ezekiel Tovar. And then as I said, I had to find someone to bet for a home run. So I did Michael Toglia here, a home run in 2 of his last 3 games here. And he'll be facing Griffin Canning for the first time here in tonight's game. Nolan Schanuel and Taylor Ward, both hitters are doing well for the Angels. So you could look at both of them. Schanuel 0 for 3, Taylor Ward 3 for 6, all 3 singles against Cal Quantrill. So going to focus here on Tovar and Toglia here in this game. And that's it. We'll move on along to our next one. I believe we have 2 games left here. The LA Dodgers, or 3 games left. LA Dodgers and the San Diego Padres here. Tyler Glasnow on the mound for the Dodgers. Matt Waldron on the mound for the Padres. Shohei Ohtani 0 for 3. Gavin Lux 0 for 2 against Matt Waldron. So neither guy of the 2 guys have found a way to solve him. Of course, they've only faced him in 1 game. So not a large sample size. Jurickson Profar, multiple bases in 6 of his last 7 games. If you've been watching the show recently, you do know that we've been betting Jurickson Profar in Padres games. He is 1 for 2 against Glasnow. Only a single, but only 1 for 2 against him. So not a large sample size. Profar is doing very well right now. I got his total bases prop at plus 200 at Bet365. So plus 200 for that prop, which he's been doing in 6 of his last 7 games. Glasnow has been getting hit a little bit recently. So there's that as well. The wind is blowing 8.1 mile per hour to the right. So not really blowing out, but that's fine. We'll take Profar over 1.5 bases here. Not touching Merrill, not touching Bogarts. Bogarts has done very well for the Padres recently. So he could be somebody you could look at if you wanted another prop. But for me, it's Profar over 1.5 bases plus 200 here in this one. Going on to our second last game of the night. We've got the Washington Nationals and the Arizona Diamondbacks here in this one. Wind is blowing 5.8 miles to the right. So again, not blowing out here in this one. Total of 9.5. We were on the over yesterday. I do lean with the over here in this one as well. I did not pull the trigger on it. Patrick Corbin on the mound, which of course makes me want to bet the over. 2-10 on the season with a 5.26 ERA. Is coming off a loss against the Padres, a win before that against Cincinnati. I expect him to give up something. So we'll get to the Ketel Marte prop here in a second. Ryan Nelson, 3-1 with a 3.95 ERA in his last 6 starts, 7 games played. So he hasn't been too bad recently. I lean with the over here in this game, but not quite enough to pull the trigger on the 9.5 here in this one. Not touching Juan Yepez or Luis Garcia Jr. here in this one. Ketel Marte, not on the over 1.5 bases. As I mentioned earlier on in the show, I believe the best was minus 127. Other places, it's very pricey. So stayed off that and instead decided to put the half unit on the home run, which he's done in 5 of his last 7 games. He's 5 for 12 with 2 doubles and a home run against Patrick Corbin. So we'll take Marte here for a home run. And that's it. Looking at Corbin Carroll, but ultimately decided to stay off. Does not have good numbers against lefties this season. So ultimately enough for me to stay off there. And the final game of the night here between the Oakland Athletics and the San Francisco Giants here in this one. JP Sears on the mound for the Athletics. Robbie Ray on the mound for the San Francisco Giants here. And this one is really interesting. 10.3 miles per hour blowing straight out here in San Francisco. Robbie Ray was absolutely fantastic in his first start for the Giants, which was against the LA Dodgers. 5 innings, no hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. So he was absolutely fantastic. Now he's going to face this Oakland Athletics team, and you might think, oh, well, they're 44 and 64. He should have no issues with the Athletics. But this Athletics team has been hitting quite a bit recently, um, which makes me want to look at the over here. I believe it's at 7.5, which is a very low total. JP Sears for the Athletics. He's really hit or miss. He does have great games, and then he has other games like his last start: 9 hits, 7 earned runs against Houston. Previous game before that, 9 hits, only 2 earned runs against the Angels. So he probably got a bit lucky there in that one, but got smashed by Houston in his last start. Here in this game, Shea Langoliers quarter unit on the home run, which he's done in 2 of his last 4 games. Half unit on over 1.5 bases, which he's done in 4 games in a row. 1 for 2 with the home run against Robbie Ray. Tyler Fitzgerald, who we didn't get to bet on yesterday because he wasn't playing, is playing tonight. So guess what we're doing? We're taking Fitzgerald props. Home run in 7 of his last 11 games, multiple bases in 9 of 11. So we'll be taking him here. Does well against lefties, Fitzgerald, and all 4 of the hot hitters for the San Francisco Giants that are on the spreadsheet are the top 4 teams against lefties when it comes to total bases. So this might be a spot where you want to look at Heliot Ramos or Jorge Soler or Matt Chapman, who all have great numbers against lefties and have all been hitting the ball very well recently. I may look a little bit more here into this game a little bit later, but then again, it is a very high volume slate. So if we get off to a great start, maybe I'll look at adding a couple more props here in this one. But for now, Langoliers and Tyler Fitzgerald, both half unit on over 1.5 bases and quarter unit on home run props here in today's slate. Picks and Parlays exclusive plays. I've got 2 premium plays on the site today, both available on picksandparlays.net. Link is in the description below. They did change there were some changes on the site. So the old link that was in the description before doesn't work anymore. The new link is there. So you're all good for premium plays. We will make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, of course. If you guys enjoy watching the show, I'd really appreciate it. We will go to the recap now here and recap today's slate. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. home run plus 525. Vladdy over 1.5 bases plus 110. Right Mountcastle over 1.5 bases plus 150. Kyle Schwarber home run plus 230. Aaron Judge home run plus 210. McNeil over 1.5 bases plus 185. Royce Lewis home run plus 450. Pete Alonso home run plus 400. Cal Rayleigh home run plus 285. Josh Young home run plus 500. Josh Young over 1.5 bases plus 130. Rhys Hoskins over 1.5 bases plus 165. Jackson Chourio home run plus 750. Jackson Chourio over 1.5 bases plus 150. Ezekiel Tovar over 1.5 bases plus 120. Michael Toglia home run plus 470. Jurickson Profar over 1.5 bases plus 200. Ketel Marte home run plus 420. Tyler Fitzgerald home run plus 600, over 1.5 bases plus 135. Shea Langoliers home run plus 600, over 1.5 bases plus 150 on today's slate. So a ton of plus money on today's slate. You guys know how I do it. A lot of plus money plays here on today's slate. Robbie Ray over 1.5 runs allowed. Looks like a trap. I have a bad feeling about this game. Yes, I agree with you. Robbie Ray, yes, he had a very, very good first start against the Dodgers. And obviously, I know the Dodgers lineup definitely should be a lot better than the Athletics. But this Oakland Athletics team is hitting a lot recently. So I could see them doing some damage to Robbie Ray. So I wouldn't talk you off that at all. Giants traded Soler for a bag of peanuts, and they go and spend $300 million in the offseason to contend. They end up selling anyways. Figures. Yeah, yeah. We'll see what happens with them. They have been playing well recently, but we'll see what happens with them going on. But that's today's show. Thank you everyone for watching. Best luck today, guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys.